Do you hear it? It goes like this. Fast money, women in my life. Ha 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 ha. Scratch it. It was my life. Yeah. So, yo, Pretty Ricky is, laughing and joking, and I'm elated, you know what I'm saying? Because throughout this whole time since he's been living with me, you know what I'm saying? It's only been a few weeks, he's been living with me, man. I mean, he's just been depressed. I thought by him getting a job and starting to make money, and then he had this little chick that he was, hitting up. He also had a car. I mean, I thought these things would make him happy, but it didn't. He was very depressed. He was walking around wearing hoodies all the time, and it was so, I don't know. It was a beautiful thing to see him smile for a change. You know what I'm saying? So, we go home, and at the time, there was the internet, but it wasn't like out there like that. So, these Instagram comedians and all of that stuff, that wasn't out. But VH1 had this thing, and it was bloopers and stuff like that, and we used to look at it, and I remember like two things stood out, two of the videos that stood out that we looked at. One of them was when a sheriff was taking care of a cat, and he was like, yeah, come here, little kitty. So the cat he had the cat on like a chain, and the cat was like wilding out a little bit, so the cat started climbing up the cop's leg, right? And he's like, come here, little I think his name was Earl or something. Come here, little Earl. The cop was talking all soft to him and everything, to the cat, and then all of a sudden the cat got up to the cop's balls and put his claws inside the cop's balls, and the cop said, and then they got the cat off of him, right? And he walked away with all of his nuts. And then another one, right? It was another one that we was laughing at, right? Where this guy had nunchucks. So he's swinging the nunchucks. Before he swings the nunchucks, he does this. So he started swinging the nunchucks. And he did a flip, but he didn't do a full flip. He wound up busting his ass. It was little stupid stuff that we used to look at, and of course I had bootleg movies, and at that time, we had it was some type of what was it? Smash TV or something. I forgot what it was. It was like a hip hop joint, right? And they had footage. Little C's had footage of Jim Jones getting jumped, right? In Harlem. And it was Harlem Week, I think it was. And they were playing basketball or whatever, so a fight broke out. Cam was there and Jim Jones was there, right? So they wound up jumping Jim Jones. Cam, you can see him walking away. He didn't even help his man, right? So they started beating up Jim Jones, and it was like a fence, right? It was like a big fence. Jim Jones jumped over the fence, and he jumped over a van. I'm not lying. He jumped over a van, right? And Lil C's was like, yo, my man, this, Jim Jones jumped over the fence, so they slowed it down and put it in slow motion. Yo, it was just funny as hell, man. And then after that, we would sit down and reminisce over the time that I had lived with him, and we had funny moments then. Like I remember, I never forget this. We saw Passion of the Christ, right? The Jesus Christ movie, right? So we're not religious, we're not Christians or nothing. We're going to the movies just to see Jesus Christ get his ass whooped, because we saw the previews. We was like, oh snap, yo, I'm dead ass serious. We was like, yo, we want to go see that movie just to see Jesus Christ get his ass whooped. So, we sitting there, we laughing, we tough, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? So we get to the movie theaters, right? The movie starts. The very beginning, one of the Roman cops or whatever, I don't know what you want to call them, guards or whatever, they threw Jesus off a bridge, right? and he had a rope around his neck, and he said, huh? And then we looked like, oh, yo, this movie about to get ill, right? So throughout the whole movie, we all quiet, right? Then like to the end, that's when all the gory parts started coming in, right? So they put like the thorns on his head and they mush it down on his head and the blood is coming out and he's like, and we just like sitting there like, now taking heed, I'm not no street dude like that. You know, I ain't shot nobody or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm tough. I'm sitting there cringing. I look over at my man Pretty Ricky, AKA I stab a dude, AKA I shoot you, I do anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm a violent person. You don't want to mess with me. He was sitting there like, he was holding his mouth like this. So they took Jesus, sweet baby Jesus that is. They took sweet baby Jesus to this little thing, right? I forgot what it was, but it was out in the open, right? And they had this belt and it had tiger claws on it. It was either shark teeth or tiger claws. And they started whipping him with it. And Jesus started jumping up and down like this. And we started, yo man, I'm not lying. We was about to cry. And then after that, they nailed him on a cross and yo man, it was just disgusting. They stabbed him on the side of his chest and blood was squirting out. Yo, we walked out of that movie theater and nobody said nothing. 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 I know Pretty Ricky remembers that, right? And then another time, I'll never forget this too. We went, and Pretty Ricky's gonna kill me on this one, but I will put it out there. we went out looking for whores, right? Excuse me. So Orlando is infamous for this area called OBT, right? I think it's a street, Orange Blossom Trail, but they call it OBT, right? That's what all the prostitutes be at, right? So we go down this street. It's like 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, right? And I've never seen these type of prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen prostitutes, but I've never seen these type of prostitutes. Like these type of prostitutes are off the hook. Like they're walking around butt naked in the street. I'm not lying. That's my word. Butt naked, no clothes on at all, right? So this one broad comes up to the car. She's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, yo, what's up? So I'm in the passenger seat, of course. I can't drive, you know. Pretty Ricky's driving. So I'm like, yeah, what's up? So I'm talking to her, whatever. You know, we cut a good deal. You know, everything is good. So Pretty Ricky had a RAV4, right? All white. And you know, he's like, yo, so which one? You know, I was like, yo, you could go ahead and go first. So he gets in the back seat. I think we was drinking that night too. So he gets in the back seat of the RAV4, right? He's looking at the chick, right? He's like, this is what he said. I don't know about this. I'm like, what's up? He's like, man, I think this chick is a dude. I'm like, yo, man, the chick is not a dude. And she's like, I'm not a dude. He's like, yes, you are a dude. And I'm gonna ask you to leave. Cause like really, Pretty Ricky, yo, seriously, even though he's a violent person, even though he comes from the mean streets of Brownsville, Brooklyn, I mean, the mannerism, the way that he talks, it confuses you. It's like, you you really would think that, man, this guy's making it up, but he's not making it up. He's dead serious like this. He's a hood dude, but yet and still he's corporate, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm getting aggravated because I'm ready to get it on with the broad. She's looking beautiful. I mean, she was beautiful. I'm not lying. And don't get me wrong, you know, I mean, this was back in the day, so transgenders wasn't out like that, right? But I just knew the chick was a chick. She wasn't a broad, a dude. So he's like, yo, pull down your pants. I want to see your pussy and all of that. Oh, I shouldn't have cursed. Well, hey, it is what it is. Let's roll with it. Let me see, you know, your punani or whatever have you. And she pulled down her pants. No, she got upset and she showed her breasts and everything. And he wasn't trying to hear it. He wasn't trying to hear it. He was like, yo, just get out. And she wound up cursing us out. She was like, you know good, N-I-G-G-A's and all types of, she was cursing us out, right? So she gets out, and I'm like, yo, man, why did you do that? Why did you do that, man? The girl was the girl was a girl. She was not a guy. She was not a guy. I knew that I knew that off the rip. Another story. So, me and, you know, my girl that got pregnant, we go down to Florida, right? Before all the SHIT hits the fan with Pretty Ricky, right? We visit him in Florida, right? So, my girl, she's asleep or whatever. I took her to Miami, you know, I showed her around and everything, and she had a good time. So she sleep, and we decide to go out. You know what I'm saying? Because we never officially had a hanging out brother type thing. You know what I'm saying? We never hung out like that, like officially, right? So we go to Universal Studios, right? And we're partying all in that area. If you all ever been to Universal Studios, you know what I'm talking about. Like, they have the Bob Marley club, and just a whole bunch of other clubs, jazz clubs, Cuban, jazz, Cuban, all types of clubs that you could just go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And so we having a good time or whatever. So we leave that club, and these chicks pull up. And we like, yo, what's up? What's going on for the night? And they're like, yo, we going to such and such club downtown or whatever have you. So I'm like, word, you know, it's about to be really, really on. We about to have like some real fun. You know what I'm saying? Cause they're like, yo, follow us. We wind up following them. Pretty Ricky says, oh. He started holding his mouth, and I'm like, yo, what's wrong? He's like, yo, my tooth is killing me. His tooth was hurting so bad. Now, taking heed, Pretty Ricky never let me drive like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew that my license was messed up. Yeah, in the very beginning, we had the Toyota Solara. He, you know, had me go, you know, drive in that area and come back. It was like real short. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, he would never let me drive because he knew the situation that I was in. And, of course, if I drive, the car's going to get taken. You know what I mean? It's going to get towed. So he was in so much pain, he asked me to drive, and I knew that he was like really, really messed up. So I wound up driving him home, and it was just a night that was like the peak was like yeah, and then it was like, oh man, this guy gets a toothache. So we were just reminiscing on all of the stuff that we've been through, and you know that we've been through individually. And we've been through as a collective, you know, our friendship, our brotherhood, right? So, make long story short, you know, a few weeks go by, and Pretty Ricky is like, he's not having it anymore. He's a man, he wants his own, and he feels as though that he's a burden towards us, and he winds up leaving and moving to his mother's house, which was in Virginia. I forgot, it was a small town. So, during that time, I don't know what happened, but this guy started sniffing. And he got up with this one broad, and he sent me a picture of her. Oh my God, the broad was beautiful. I mean, dark skin, all of that. And I couldn't believe that he was like messing with, you know, back to messing with black girls, whatever, you know. So, you know, it was just like a real trying time for him. You know, he got into a situation with his cousin. Cousin house got shot up. I don't know who did it, but you know, I ain't trying to, you know, incriminate nobody, but it was just hectic. And I was like, yo, man, you need to get out of that situation. You know, Pretty Ricky's from Brooklyn, New York. He's not from a small town. So when you put a person that's from a big place, that's from New York, in a small town in Virginia, and he's used to making money. He's used to having cars and women and all of that stuff. And then his life just slows down, and now he has nothing. He's going to snap. And that's exactly what happened. And eventually, you know, he got himself together, and he wound up driving back down to Orlando. And he had to give in. He had to give in to his girlfriend. His girlfriend got him a apartment and everything, and he was working with nothing. I'm gonna end it right there. My name is Langston2092. I want you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this beautiful channel, man. The stories only get better. Tune in. Until next time, one.